Pikachu, get in the bowl now!
Hello everybody, I'm back today with another video for you. Today we're talking about GameStop and like all the things that are going wrong with GameStop currently in the Pokemon community. GameStop decided to dip their little toesies into the Pokemon card hobby, the Pokemon card market. I want to say it was like a year ago, it might have even been less. I don't remember, but they started taking or accepting submissions for PSA grading. There's been like a whole slew of issues. First of all, a lot of people's submissions come back pretty mid. I've seen a lot of people get their submissions back from GameStop and they're like PSA 5s, 6s, 7s. I rarely see a 10 come back from GameStop for some reason. I don't know if it's just like the demographic of people who are grading cards with GameStop are grading cards that aren't in mint condition. That could be the case, but it does seem odd to me that so many people's modern cards are coming back 5s and 6s from GameStop. It's pretty wild. They also have been just making a lot of mistakes that end up being very serious for people. There was a post on the Pokemon card Reddit page where the original poster had listed that they had submitted a special delivery Pikachu card to GameStop for PSA grading, and when they got to pick up their card, or when the card was returned to them, it was a Gyarados EX from Scarlet and Violet. So that's obviously not good. The special delivery Pikachu card can go for at a PSA 10, if they got a 10 on that, it could go for $700, $800, maybe more. I don't actually know the exact value. I'll pop it up on the screen. Potentially we're talking about a large price gap. Even if it's not a 10 and it's just a 9 or an 8, we're still talking about a large price gap. The Gyarados EX goes for 30, this poster is saying. The Pikachu special delivery card usually, it can sell for $100 or more, especially if it's graded well. So that's obviously a problem if they are mixing up people's cards. I'm hoping that they do take accountability for stuff like that and manage to somehow compensate this person, because there's no way they're getting the card back. It's just probably not going to happen. Most people aren't morally good enough to just return a super expensive card. That person, whoever received the special delivery Pikachu from GameStop, got really lucky, I guess, but it sucks for the original poster here. Hopefully they get compensated. GameStop's not the easiest to, communicate with. I know it's probably going to be difficult for them, but I do hope they end up getting compensated. I don't see how GameStop can get away with that one, but they've gotten away with worse in the past. Now, there was another more serious incident that I also saw on Reddit on the Pokemon trading card page. This is an alleged incident. I cannot say for sure if any of this is true, if any of this actually happened. This is all alleged. I have to say that. But allegedly, there was another incident involving PSA card submissions at the GameStop in Virginia Beach. This was a $4,658 PSA submission that they were doing through GameStop. And allegedly, the PSA submission has gone missing. It's been missing for well over 120 days or more by now. And this submission obviously had some heavy hitters in it for it to be this expensive. We're talking a lot of cards from Evolving Skies, a lot of the Evolutions, Giratina V from Lost Origin. We've got the Burning Shadows Rainbow Rare Charizard, that's a huge one. The Lugia Altart from Silver Tempest. We've got the 151 Charizard. All kinds of goodies in this submission. The original poster is claiming that they have not been able to get in contact with GameStop hardly at all about this situation, claiming that when they were able to get in contact with them the couple of times that they have been, that they were extremely unhelpful, they were rude to them at times. He was actually told by one of the employees over the phone to shut up and wait while he was trying to get answers for where his cards are, which is crazy. Look, I know the GameStop employees have it rough. They don't get paid a whole lot. I work at the mall, and I've chatted with the GameStop staff here and there. They don't get paid hardly anything, guys. We can't be mad at them for being pissed off at their jobs. However, in a situation like this, it is not okay to just tell somebody to shut up and wait or be rude to them about this. They are out over $4,000 allegedly because of GameStop. So they have every single right to be pissed off. Their anger is going to be directed at whoever's going to pick up the phone or whoever's standing in the store that day, because they're just looking for answers. They're looking for help. It is said within this post that he called 97 times to this GameStop. He called tons and tons of times to the support line. He had gone in and confronted them in the store to see if anybody would help him. Nobody would. Nobody would help him come to a solution. Even with the $200 insurance per card policy that GameStop has when you're submitting, expensive cards, I guess, the guy here who submitted them is still out thousands of dollars, even if he gets the $200 back from each card. A lot of those cards are worth over $200 easily. He does believe that an employee probably swiped the cards because GameStop at one point allegedly was telling him that the cards were never placed into the system so that they can't be held liable for it because it's not even in their system. That's what he was allegedly told at one point by GameStop. And then FedEx, was saying that they're also not responsible because they never, I don't know. FedEx sucks. Let's just be real. FedEx is not the best to work with either. So we've got a situation where this guy is out all of his cards and over $4,000. And nobody wants to be held liable for that. Now, the GameStop Reddit apparently did reach out and comment on this post. They said they're investigating what happened with the package. They are claiming that it is stalled at FedEx. So if that were the case, that would mean that they would have had to enter them into the system and ship them out. So that doesn't really add up with what this guy said about how GameStop kind of told him that it was never in their system in the first place. So they're not liable. Those two things, it's like he said, she said. We don't know who's telling the truth here. There's no saying for sure either way. I tend to believe humans more than corporations, but they are claiming that the cards were entered into their system and shipped out with FedEx, and that the package is now stalled at a FedEx facility and not stolen by employees. They specifically put that in their statement that the package and the cards, they were not stolen by GameStop employees. We will stand behind our guarantee to replace the cards or compensate for the fair value of the cards. Now, this is an interesting statement. Obviously, I don't think they're going to replace the cards. That would be pretty difficult for them to do. I think they'd have to source all the cards. Like, where are they going to get these cards from? They're going to buy them on eBay and give them back to the guy? I don't see that happening. But the key word here in this statement is fair value. The fair value of the cards is probably in GameStop's eyes not what market value price is for these cards, not what this guy bought the cards for. Fair value is going to be whatever GameStop says is fair value. They have claimed that no other submissions have gone missing from this location. To that, I would say they might not have had any submissions this crazy, this expensive. They go on to say that they're sorry and that they've reached out to the customer and that they are working towards some kind of solution with the customer. I guess the takeaway from all of that is maybe don't grade your cards with GameStop. I don't necessarily think we should all be grading cards as frequently as we do anyway. I've kind of been getting out of the graded card thing for a little bit now. At one point I thought it was really cool, but now, when you look at it a little more objectively, you realize that grading it in itself, grading the cards, is a subjective process. What one dude with a microscope thinks is a 10 might not be what another dude with a microscope thinks is a 10. It's, in my experience, very inconsistent. The fact that you can crack a 8 or 9 and send it in and get a 10 that should just be proof enough that grading is pretty inconsistent and subjective. But yeah, I wouldn't be grading your cards through GameStop by any means. GameStop got into this market for specifically one reason. GameStop is a dying business. This was a cash grab sort of a thing for them. They're not here to better the Pokemon community or make your life easier. They were here to cash grab in a market that's really hot right now. Literally the only reason that they got involved in the first place. I really would not grade your cards there. And when it comes to grading cards in general, my advice would be not to send in your really expensive rare cards through the mail. Tons and tons of cards go missing through the mail. It's really unfortunate to see. Usually nobody's held accountable either. It takes forever to actually hold somebody accountable for that sort of thing. If you're going to grade really expensive cards, the best way to do it is in person. You can't really get scammed in person. They can't really steal it from you in person. I know it's less convenient if you really want to grade your cards though. It's the best way to do it. It's the safest way to do it. The most effective way to ensure that your card is not going to get stolen or tampered with is to do it in person at some kind of convention where PSA has a booth. it sucks that it kind of is like that, but especially in a market like this right now where theft is just like at an all-time high, I would be real careful about sending any cards through the mail right now. It's rough out here right now. The market's crazy. People are nuts. Just be careful grading your cards. Bottom line. And a quick side note about GameStop. They've also decided to stop doing pre-orders, which kind of sucks because that was one of the stores that you like actually had a chance at getting the products on. But I kind of get it because they're probably not getting enough product to meet the demand. Still sucks though. They're also selling cards now for market value, not retail price. They're just creating their own retail price, which is market value. They're trying to sell things like Obsidian Flames ETBs for like $80. It's insane. I honestly probably won't be buying my cards there moving forward if it's going to be that expensive. I've also heard that like some GameStops that had pre-orders for people have just shut down since, like they've closed the stores and now people are left with, you know, pre-orders that won't be fulfilled and they don't know how they're going to get their money back and stuff. That's insane. GameStop is just an absolute hot mess right now when it comes to Pokemon and most things, but especially with Pokemon. Be careful out there. Don't grade your cards at don't grade your cards at GameStop. Probably don't buy them there either. But that's all I got for you today, just a little GameStop rant. Let me know if you've ever graded your cards with GameStop and how that experience went for you. Or just any funny GameStop experiences in general. I have quite a few because like I said, I work at the mall. I'm in that store all the time. And my GameStop is rough, guys. It's not like a good, pretty one. It's rough. There's like plushies just all over the floor. It's a mess in there. It always smells weird in there, like feet cheese or something. Not the best GameStop, but let me know your experiences down below. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. I always love reading y'all's comments. If you like this video and you want to see more content like this from me, go ahead and hit subscribe. And I will see y'all next time. Bye!